Morning folks, you're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Sunday, June 9th, 2024. We're standing at Polderbaan. We once again have a day with wind blowing from the west. Polderbaan right now in use for departures together with runway 24 the Cargolux. Emirates A380 on its way to Inverness. Very good morning to everybody who has joined already. Another windy day. Wind is expected to pick up a bit like it did yesterday. The head shake dance of the Coots, the Grebes. Meanwhile, KLM flight 1199 on its way to Oslo just took off, or at least started its takeoff roll, I should say. Big picture wise, it looks more cheerful than it did yesterday, luckily. Already quite windy. The wind on the scale of chimney smoke looks like this. Beautiful cloudy vistas looking to the east, beautiful. First next airplane to arrive, Embraer 190 to Aberdeen, followed by an A320 EasyJet to London Luton. A very good morning to everybody who has joined already. Happy Sunday to all. Now, should be interesting to see what the morning is going to bring. Yesterday it was a back and forth between arrivals, departures and then arrivals again. Let's see if we are going to see the same today. For now, this runway is being used for departures. Did not see an update of Bezoek bus just yet, so we'll see soon enough. I'm thinking this is also going to be used as the secondary runway for arrivals once it gets busy with arrivals. And where was that message? Big thank you to Sigrid. Back again with a lovely 4 months, he writes. Thank you so much for being back. Hope you still like it in the lounge. In the meantime, turning onto the runway is KLM flight 913, Embraer 190, destination Aberdeen. Bon dia, morgen. Eindelijk een beetje beter dan gisteren. Beetje. Hey, denk jij ook? KLM flight 913, 14 years old, the PHEZM. Beautiful backdrop of summery clouds. Now, we did see 2 Grebes just now, but I think that is about it. It has become increasingly difficult to see in the water what's going on, since everything is overgrowing a little bit. The EasyJet A320 to Luton, ready to go. EasyJet flight 22514. Bazooka bus. Hey Jean-Yves, salut mon ami, good to see ya. Aaron says sound is awesome, I'm happy to hear that. It is double-digit wind speeds again, so I've resorted to the blimp. Set in between the grass. Hey, check this out. New mama duck. This one has a lighter coat, or is that just... And 3 little ducklings. What? Never mind that weird man. Come with mama. Don't get behind. What? Going around me with wide arch. And rightly so. Stay away from predator birds, little ducklings. Make sure you grow up and thrive. This is number 175 with destination Christiansand. Dropping off some Christians in Christiansand. The airplane is 6 years old, first flight July 2017. Sally the seagull. Oh, there were splashes in the water here. Oh dear. Fish are frolicking again. And Sally is watching. Stephen also present. Stephen and Sally Seagull. Getting a little bit dizzy here. Right, let's see what is happening. Does look like there is a 737 making its way over here, going to Birmingham. I'm also seeing United. Oh no, that's an arriving airplane. Let's filter for just outbound for the time being. Yeah, 737 to Birmingham is on its way over here, and also an A320 which will be going to Tallinn. Hey, going to the different runway?
We're gonna explore.
Okay, well, enjoy. Have a nice day, take care. Two people from Belgium, not the Flemish part, otherwise we would have spoken Dutch, but they were visiting just as it looked like the Polderbaan was going to close. So we struck a conversation. They were wondering if maybe the runway was going to reopen again. While we were talking, it did reopen, luckily. And now they are going back. I also told them about the Spottersplaats at the McDonald's, which will be receiving inbound traffic all day, most likely with the prevailing wind and the expected wind. So I think they're on their way over there now. Never been there before, those two. Now, massive big thank you to Arjan, who just now gifted 5 memberships, 5 new members, courtesy of Arjan. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you to Arjan or dankjewel. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, and Arjan, dankjewel. Thank you so much, 5 new members courtesy of you. And also a big thank you to Evan, celebrating 13 months of membership, 11 more for our 2nd anniversary. Start thinking about my present. It's good that you gave me the heads up. It gives me plenty of time to start thinking. Thank you so much for your continued support, Evan. Hope you still like it in the lounge. Now, in terms of the weather, let's have a look. Is there a new METAR? This one is from 36 minutes ago, so I published this one in the ticker. Wind is blowing perpendicularly to the heading of this runway, varying between a little bit north and south of west. Wind speed has increased to 13 knots in the meantime, 404. Yesterday it was a bit less and it started picking up a bit later in the day. Now we're already ahead of the curve of yesterday. Few clouds at 2,600 feet. That's better than yesterday. Temperature 14 degrees C. That is 28. That is 58 degrees F. Roughly speaking. Runway use. So the McDonald's runway is seeing all the inbound traffic now. Cargolux and Polderbaan are doing outbound. I'm thinking that once it becomes more busy with inbound traffic, this runway is going to change, like yesterday, into the secondary runway for arrivals together with 27, and this one is going to stay open for departures. This runway is out of commission due to maintenance right now. Again, wind finder, expected wind for today, local time, and the wind direction, the wind speed, and the gusts. So you can see, a bit like yesterday, wind from the west, maybe later a bit more to the northwest in the day. Peak around 2 o'clock with 13 knot wind and 17 gust. Well, insofar as we are going to see inbound traffic, we are seeing a Cargolux arriving from Miami, expected around 12:30, so that might be... No, there's just one runway open for arrivals then, so I'm thinking that is going to land on 27. Emirates, 7 minutes past the hour expected time of arrival. If it makes up 7 minutes, or a bit more preferably, then we might see it if this is the secondary runway. Yeah, I think we're going to have bad luck in terms of the arriving king and queens, but we'll see. In the meantime, let's also quickly go back to the camera. KLM 737-700 on its way to Birmingham, KLM flight 1043. And the first A320 of the show will be next, going to Tallinn, dropping off some tall men in Tallinn, and women. See that Captain Jerry is also back in the chat and he writes, hello all, I am back home out of hospital, time for a shot. Mate, I'm happy to see that you're back in the chat and I'm happy to read that you're back home. I did read all what happened with you. Did miss it when you wrote it in the chat back when you were there last time and you told us about it, but I did read back the chat, so I did read what happened to you. I hope you're doing well, mate. What a terrible thing to have happened. Hope you're doing well. Wish you a speedy recovery. Drink one for me. Mate, I will do that. I only have water with me right now, so I will take a swig of water then. I'll drink a cold one once I get home, Jerry. In the meantime, this is Air Baltic, flight 858, A220 300, destination Tallinn, where all the tall men live. And women. The airplane, a year old, first flight May 2023. Richard lives in opposite land in Rotterdam South. Richard Moes lives in the south of the city of Rotterdam and he always writes, hello from sunny Rotterdam South, and today it is rainy. Beautiful. Goedemorgen. Oh, what's that? Russell getting chased away by Sally. Sally getting all territorial over here. Now, Jinshin also returned. Apparently Jinshin, the coot, was doing some morning cardio and now some personal hygiene matters to take care of. And that splashing is coming from a little bit closer to the microphone, so you probably picked that up. Fishy stuff going on once again. Thought we'd seen the last of it, but apparently not. And oh wait, it's already there. Next airplane, E2 Embraer, going to Game of Thrones. KLM flight 1231. Making its way over to the runway threshold. Alan also back in the chat, morning mate. Graham, happy Sunday to you too. Ricardo, goedemorgen. Tuning in from Wateringen in Westland. Read you went to Antwerp. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? Hope you had a good time in Antwerp. YouTube fan, good morning. And indeed, it is a beautiful day. Hans says, I live just a couple of kilometers south of Rotterdam South and no rain here but bright sunny. Yeah, exactly, that is exactly what I thought was going on. By now, we know that Richard is always joking when he says hi. It's sunny when it is rainy It is rainy when it is actually sunny. This is KLM flight 1231 going to Game of Thrones, E2 Embraer 195. Good morning, Japanese characters who asks English only. Well, feel free to talk Japanese, but I'm afraid that not a lot of people will understand it. A very good morning to everybody who has joined in the meantime. Good morning, Pete, Captain Eddie Bosch. Good morning, Jake. Hey, Jendrusek. Morgen. Gary Grebe, the mother ducker. Well, he dove under, but where? Oh, where did he re-emerge? Well, the answer is, well, you have to be really quick, otherwise you're missing out on him. Meanwhile, beautiful cloudy vistas as we are waiting for the next airplanes to come this way. Shamrock leading the way. KLM flight 601 to LAX will also be coming this way. We also have American coming this way. 777 to Minneapolis. 777 to Quito. A330 to Sint Maarten. Oh man, heavies are upon us. Heavies fest. If you need to grab a fresh cup of coffee, be quick. If you need to use the bathroom, you still have a couple of minutes. Be sure you return within 5 minutes. Heavies rush hour is commencing. Now, pretty sure we saw two earlier. Not sure where the second Grebe is right now. Also a big thank you to Alan who just now gifted a membership. I see that it's JG got gifted a membership. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Don't forget to say thanks if you're there, which I'm not sure you are. Captain Jerry P's in the tube for now. Yummy, that's nice. Well, hopefully you won't have to do that anytime soon. The longer you do that, the worse it gets. Chances of infection. Better drink through a tube than pee into a tube. Shamrock, first airplane to arrive for departure. Flight 603, going to Dublin. Windsock in the distance, you can see Viagra is in the air. Right, here it comes. Aer Lingus, flight 603, and behind it is KLM flight 601. One going to Dublin, the other to LAX. Indeed, Aer Lingus to LAX. And we have KLM flight 601 to Dublin up next. (787-10) Dreamliner, the PHBKI, 3 years old, first flight August 2020. Don't sniff too much, boy, or you might get tangled with your tripod. Yeah, that's the Viagra. Now, this airplane is 3 years old. First flight was in August 2020. Shamar is greeting us from Bangladesh. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. All others who have joined, welcome to. You're watching departures on AMS Live. We have wind blowing from the west. The airplanes take off to the north. Runway 24 is also open for departures. I'm thinking we are also going to see this runway being used for arrivals later in the day, similar to yesterday, and with the wind blowing perpendicularly to the runway heading and in the double-digit knots. I'm thinking we're going to see some crabbing action later today. American Airlines now on its way. Lovely cloudy backdrop. Film Noir NYC says excellent camera angle. Thank you so much. Glad you like what you're seeing. Morgen Fritz. Grüße nach Deutschland. Next up, KLM flight 655 777-200 to Minneapolis, Minnesota. 17 years old, first flight January 2007. Lovely growl emanating from the engines of those 200s. Let's quickly turn back. Another 777-200 is ready to go to Kiddo. KLM flight 755. PHBQA, 20 years old. First flight September 2003. 777-200. And also a massive big thank you to Chris Porter for your super chat. He writes, grab a coffee when you're done. I will definitely do that. Thank you so much, Chris. Very much appreciated. We'll grab a good cup of coffee when I am done. Thank you so much. Another growling 777-200. And good morning, Mark, en Johan, en Matthijs, en Adi. And German Monster tuning in from Berlin, sunny Berlin, good morning. Tourney, good morning. Time for an A330-200 to St. Maarten. KLM flight 787, the PH AOB, 18 years old, first flight July 2005. Good morning, Michiel. Good morning, Jane. Welcome back, one and all. Slowest retracting gear in the game, the A330s. Takes forever. But at least it's retracting. No issues there. Gary found Gertrude as well. Once again. Passing by Jinshin, who is still doing some personal hygiene stuff. Meanwhile, the wind on the scale of chimney smoke looks like this. And the KLM 737-900 in the SkyTeam livery to Manchester is pulling up in the meantime. KLM flight 1031. Man the F up in Manchester. It is the PHBXO. She's 23. Began flying in June of the year 2001. Hey JD, good morning mate, good to see you again. Hoytube asks, is the PHBVA bereits gelandet? I don't know, was it expected? I didn't see it on the inbound roster on Flight Radar, didn't see it being airborne, so I'm not sure where it is right now. Hadi Martijn, goedemorgen. Hadi Roy. Hendrik, buongiorno from sunny Utrecht, from Roberto and Hendrik. Buongiorno, ragazzi. Right, let's see. This is another KLM 737 going to Helsinki. Bloody Helsinki. KLM flight 1251. PHBXB, 25 years old. It's a millennial. First flight April 1999. Right. Beautiful cloudy vistas here. Still a bit chilly though with the wind. I'm sure that if it were wind still, it would have been a lovely day. Standing here with my hoodie, but I have my hoodie over my cap so that my neck at least is a bit shielded from the wind. But I also went to the barber shop earlier in the week, so my neck is pretty bare and susceptible to wind right now. This is Ryanair flight 421 going to Dublin. Thanks for the update, Maria. Orange Pride is due for departure to Lima in around noon. Cool. Not sure if we're going to see it though. Might take off from runway 24 then. Hey Jinshin, are you done grooming? Aloha. Where are you? Not just in the chat, but also over there. We found you. Multitasking. Meanwhile, Dreamliner spooling up, going to Bogota in Colombia. This is KLM flight 741, 7879 Dreamliner. Our next airplane is going to the city where house music originated from, Houston in Texas. KLM flight 661, it's an A330-200. The PH AOD every other day. No, all other days. The airplane is 18 years old. First flight April 2006. Holy shit. So if you're born in 2006, you're 18. Tom says, back to the old and trusty spot I see. Well, you know, with wind blowing from the west and with Aalsmeerbaan closed for maintenance, the Polderbaan has to stay open. And that means once it is open for arrivals, you're going to see the crosswind landings here. Could have gone to runway 27, but then you'll just be seeing landings with headwind. Here, the wind is now blowing perpendicularly to the runway. And yesterday I was happily surprised once the departures got underway about the tempo. And so far, today too, the tempo for outbound traffic seems to be better than what we are used to, or have been used to recently. So if it gets interchanged with arrivals, this is, I think, the best place to be right now. Cargolux will only see outbound. That's not the best location where you can stand at the end of the runway for outbound traffic. For inbound, it is a good place. McDonald's will only see inbound traffic with headwind. So no crabbing or anything. So this is the best place to be at today, in my personal opinion. The second of the triplet of Air Baltic A220s. We already saw the one going to Tallinn, and this one is going to Riga. We're ready. Next up, British Airways flight 429 A319, destination London Heathrow. And it is 23 years old, first flight May 2001. Right. Now the 737 going to Copenhagen up next, and after that we'll have to wait a little bit. Gives us time to have a look at the status quo, maybe do an update of the weather. Also maybe the website with expected runway use will have updated so that we can see what's in store for us today. KLM flight 1269 on the threshold, 737-700, destination Copenhagen. Delta A330 to Minneapolis is on its way over here already, and also a Dreamliner by the looks of it going to San Francisco from KLM. Seems to be on the move already. Now, this airplane does not have a Wi-Fi hump. What's its age then? 13, okay. First flight February 2011. No Wi-Fi hump. Interesting. Right, on the scale of chimney smoke, pretty horizontal chimney smoke. There are contrails in the sky visible. This twin is moving away from me already. Too far zoomed in. Yeah, so visibility of glide slope of contrails is decent between the clouds. The Delta A330 to Minneapolis, the first next airplane, is on the move. And also KLM to San Francisco should be behind it. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, in terms of airplanes of interest, Jesus is flying over Austria. Is it still over Austria? Almost going into Slovenia, going to Rhodes. Jesus taking a day off, enjoying some sunshine in Greece. Got 747s underway from all directions. Whether or not we are going to see them remains to be seen. Current runway use is still this. We are standing over here. Let's do an update of the METAR. We had 13 knot wind just now. It has increased to 15 knots. Still hovering around west, a little bit north, a little bit south of west. 15 knots, 4/4, few clouds at 2,900 feet. Air temperature 15 degrees C, that is roughly 60 F. And we're seeing that the wind speed is a little bit ahead of yesterday's schedule. Yesterday topping around 19 knots. I'm expecting the same today. Windfinder is showing a similar expectation. This was also something we saw yesterday. Similar figures for the wind speed, expected to peak around 2 o'clock from the west-northwest. 13 knots with gusts up to 17. So I'm thinking we're going to see similar runway use as yesterday. Let's have a look at Bezoekbus, which is indicating us what runway use is going to be like in the upcoming hours. Right, so it is 10:36 right now until 11 o'clock. Landing on 27, starting on 24 and on 36 left. Polderbaan, that's where we are standing. 11 to 11:40 landing. Right, so 40 minutes of parallel landings from 11 o'clock until 11:40, and then from 11:40 until 1 o'clock. Once again, departures, and then from 1 till 2 o'clock, arrivals once again, parallel, with center also being used for arrivals. So, those 747s, are they expected around 11:40? Before 11:40? 12:30, 2:30, 12:54, 1:12. So I'm thinking, yeah, 1:12. So the A380 is probably going to land on the center runway then. And the 747s are probably going to land on runway 27. I think we're not going to be very lucky in that respect today. We'll see. Might be fun to stick around for the entire bout of arrivals like yesterday. That was expected to last until 2 o'clock, ended a bit earlier. Let's see if we can make it until then. Also a tractor. Are they going to mow on Sunday? Really? Not sure what those appendages are. If those are used for cutting grass or something else. Hadi Clementia, goedemorgen. All others who have joined in the meantime, good morning. This is Delta Airlines, flight 161, going to Minneapolis, Minnesota. A330-300. 8 years old. Okay, the audience says it's a sprayer, so nice. Can do with a few pesticides in my bloodstream. Was feeling too healthy lately. Glad that is going to change soon. The next airplane making its way over to the runway threshold is going to go to San Francisco. Now, let's see. KLM flight 605. 787-10 Dreamliner, destination San Francisco. PH BKK, 3 years old, first flight December 2020. And a grumpy faced Norwegian lipstick in the background. Norwegian Max 8, destination Copenhagen. It doesn't say who's the grumpy face on the tail. None of the pictures on flight radar seem to be zoomed in onto that picture. We'll see. Lipstick Airlines Max 8 on its way to Copenhagen. This airplane is 2 years old. Began flying in March 2022. Right, so in 20 to 15 minutes we are going to see arrivals on this runway together with the center runway for 40 minutes. Should be good. Celsius in the house. Right, let's see. There is a 777 moving, which will be going to Paramaribo, but I'm not thinking it is coming this way. The question is there outbound traffic coming to Polderbaan at all anymore, or are we waiting for the first inbound traffic? Let's see. Has anybody had a look on omgevingsinfo, bezoekpas, whatever it is called these days? Looks like the TUI Dreamliner arriving from Curaçao is going to runway 27 still. Well, QJ, I hope so too, but realistically Paramaribo is south and west of us. With a runway open that is headed to the southwest, I'm thinking it is more likely that it is going to take off from that runway. Suriname inbound looks like it is going to continue. Can I see it already? Don't think I can. 737 at The Hague, assigned for Polderbaan. Thank you, Pete. Arriving from Mayholm, I'm assuming. Right, that gives a few more minutes for traffic to take off from Polderbaan. So the question is then, what's the 777 going to do? I'm thinking it is not going to come this way, but you know, you never know. Hey there, Tayeb. Good afternoon. Tuning in from Dubai. Welcome. We're in a... Oh yeah, I see the runway is going to be inspected, as you can see. Runway inspection already in progress. Means that the runway is being groomed for inbound traffic, and we already saw, Pete was mentioning that the Transavia arrival from Mayholm is going to be landing on this runway, probably as one of the first airplanes, if not the very first airplane. Then until 11:40, this runway is going to be used for departures. Arrivals, sorry. Get my inbound and outbound mixed up. K3. Doing a little runway inspection over there. All right. Let's have another look. I think that plane might be the first inbound airplane to land on Polderbaan. Or is the 737? Is the 737 going to be sooner than that? I see the 737 already. Transavia flight 5472, arriving from Mayholm. Mayonnaise. Let's see, it should be over there somewhere. Oh wait, there. Right. Bird controller still doing an inspection of the runway. In the meantime, Play and the Transavia are coming closer by. I think... Yeah, I think that the Transavia is probably going to be the first airplane. Meanwhile, the clouds over here are still friendly looking. There's at least one grebe. That's a duck. Right, let's turn back. I think the Transavia is now turning base. Should become the first airplane to land on Polderbaan. This is Transavia flight 5472 arriving from Meon, bringing us mayonnaise. 737-800, 1 hour and 51 minutes underway. The PHHXG, which is 7 years old and began flying in March of the year 2017. Gear is extending. It should be turning final pretty soon. And that is play in the background. And what do you know? Glide slope shot established. There you go. Right, Transavia arriving from Meon, 1 hour 54 minutes on the way, 737-800, 7 years old. In the background we have Play A320 Neo arriving from Reykjavik. What is up, Michael? Good to see you again, mate. Just in time, these are the first airplanes that are forming a intermediate batch of arrivals between departures. So departures until just now until 11:40 local time. This and runway center is going to see arriving airplanes. This runway and the center runway, I should say. Perfect glide slope visibility. Not sure if the third airplane will be arriving from the left or from the right. Hard to discern on flight radar. Oh wait, I think that the one to Munich is probably going to land on center. So that means that the E2 Embraer will be arriving from the left. Well, probably in the time that we are seeing this airplane land. Alrighty. Now, are we going to make it today? Are we going to make it today? 18 left. It has been crawling lately. Don't know why. It is a very slow crawl, but we are getting there. 19k. We might make it today. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen members, get out your emoji for playtime. Here it comes. E2 Embraer at its 8 to 9 o'clock. The next airplane behind it. The A320 Neo arriving from Reykjavik, flight 460, the TFPPC. 2 hours and 29 minutes underway. The airplane is a year old, first flight October 2022. Helicopter Kestrel. Or was that? No, I don't think it was. It was Fidel Kestrel. Mustn't forget. The airplane is a year old, first flight October 2022. Now, I already saw a go around, or at least an aborted landing as I was driving up here. I think it was Air Europa, which would have been around 9 o'clock local time, 9 a.m. Not sure what happened there. Now, it's only going to be a 40-minute stint, but will we see more go-arounds? And the sprayer we now see in the land. Yesterday they planted potatoes. Initially I said it looked like they were harvesting, but obviously a bit too soon in the season. Did not realize that. I said it before, I'll say it again, I'm an absolute agricultural noob. Disregard everything I say. Don't take it seriously, particularly when it pertains to agriculture related stuff. Clint Eastwood, that's also a great one. Clint Eastwood, man. Frank is on fire once again. Clint Eastwood. Fidel Castro, Clint Eastwood, Steven Seagal. And indeed, Russell and Sheryl Crow. This is an E2 Embraer arriving from Zurich, KLM flight 1918. 1 hour 7 minutes underway. Brand new airplane, the PHNXS. First flight July 2023. McGee the Magpie. Thanks for the addition, Jane. McGee the Magpie. MS Wildlife Dictionary. Gary, just as I was about to film him. Mother ducker. Yeah, I was talking about you, mate. Meanwhile, we'll have to wait, but I think with the visibility, yeah, there it is already. We can perfectly see the next airplane already. Still a bit out, You can already see it is crabbing. 777-300 arriving from Las Vegas. KLM flight 636. Now further up ahead, I'm thinking it should be lower for us. There is an A330-300 from Delta arriving from Minneapolis, which should, if we are able to see it from over here, should be entering from the left at some point. It was hard to estimate where they are based on what you see on flight radar. Should be close to the glide slope now. Oh yeah, in the very bottom, I think the ticker is in the way. In the center, that's the A330. Delta Airlines flight 162 arriving from Minneapolis. The airplane in the distance. And 777 arriving from Las Vegas in the foreground. Ready. The airplane in the foreground is descending, the airplane in the background is ascending, visually at least. Always nice to see the ballet of the glide slope. Hope you're still around, Jerry. Take in the glide slope shots. Right. KLM flight 636, number 6 on flight radar, 273, number 5 on flight radar, 344 people are following this airplane. 9 hours and 11 minutes underway. PH BVR, 8 years old, first flight made 2016. As if there is no crosswind at all. Walk in the park. Easy peasy. And typical KLM fashion, not using the reversers. Hopefully the Delta A330 that will be next will approach the landing differently. Use different style. Also a massive big thank you to Raven Rock, who just now gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Raven Rock. And if you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you to Raven Rock. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Raven Rock, once again, thank you so much for your generosity. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. Righty, almost there. 4 to go. 19K. In the meantime, this is Delta Airlines flight 162 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. 7 hours and 31 minutes underway. At its 7 o'clock, vaguely visible, just left of center, the next airplane, an E2 Embraer. The airplane is 20 years old, the Delta A330, first flight October 2003. The E2 Embraer is arriving from Manchester. Lovely cloudy backdrop. Somewhere in the background, Iberia Express should also be turning in. Yeah, you can see the flickering of the light. Still far away. Not much detail to be seen. But they are coming. Right, let's hope that the ADIS was playing Let's Get Loud by Jennifer Lopez in the background, so that they have been subliminally incentivized to use the reversers, make it a loud landing. Let's look and listen. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. Meanwhile, two airplanes on the glide slope. E2 Embraer in the foreground arriving from Manchester, KLM. Iberia Express arriving from Madrid, A320 in the background. And also a massive big thank you to Kaylee for your continued support, celebrating 7 months of membership. And Kaylee writes, great stream as always, have a good day everyone. Thank you so much for your kind words and for your continued support, Kaylee. I hope you still like it in the lounge. If something isn't to your liking, do let me know. Let me see what I can do to fix it. Now, a lot of the inbound traffic seems to be approaching from the east. What is the next airplane? Oh, E2 Embraer arriving from Brussels is flying left of me over the sea. Even on a Sunday, an E2 Embraer. Apparently they are filled quite nicely on average. Which surprises me. Such a small distance. Yet there apparently is a high demand for plane tickets for such a short distance. 88 nautical miles. 170 or so kilometers as the crow flies. Transavia going to the center runway. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke looks like this right now. Oh, I hear Europapa emanating from the Floriade terrain, where I think Mudmasters is on its second day, so that's somewhere over there. Too bad that the mic is pointing in the other direction. Now that's a lot of people's favorite song these days. Iberia Express arriving from Madrid, A320. already. Singapore Airlines A350 going to Cargolux Pete says. Let's see. Is it already airborne? Or, probably already airborne. Do see that a Cathay Pacific Cargo 747 is also approaching that runway. Let's see. It seems that the next airplane to arrive to Polderbaan is going to be the E2 Embraer arriving from Brussels. It should be turning in somewhere over there. Though I am not sure if we can see it from over here because it is really far to the north already. It's almost in the vicinity of Alkmaar, but I think we see it over there. The next airplane to come this way, E2 Embraer arriving from Brussels. Now, and in the meantime, have we crossed it? Only just. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your support. 19k subs. Well, thank you all so much. On to the 20k now. First, let's see. The E2 Embraer arriving from Brussels. Right now the only airplane coming this way. Still several minutes out. Let's see, where is that 747 on flight radar? Well, it's busy. Oh, wait, the A350 is also still there. Let's see. While we're waiting for the arrival of the next airplane to Polderbaan, let's have a look. Got an A320 Neo lined up right now, going to Oslo, and the question is, who's going to be next? Probably the A350 from Singapore. Let me just pick up the blimp, turn it around a little bit. Hearing all kinds of dance music emanating from the other side. There's a mud race going on, cardio competition where you have to, basically a hinderness concours. Lots of bassy house music. Almost sounds like Charlie Lonois and Mental Theo. Right, no, still one narrow body that is skipping ahead of the A350 and probably the 747-800 next. A320. In the meantime, lest we not forget, let's have a look, because that E2 is coming closer now. Hey Liewe, goedemorgen kerel, good to see you again mate. We're seeing the E2 Embraer arriving from Brussels. We had the camera pointed to runway 24 earlier because after the Air France Singapore Airlines A350 is going to take off, and after that probably the 747-8 Cathay Pacific Cargo. Now, first let's have a look at the landing of KLM flight 1704, E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Brussels. 88, oh, now it's 89 nautical miles, 29 minutes. DJ Bad Boy would make a nice DJ name for me. I thought DJ AMS Live. DJ Bad Boy. Proper naughty boy. Right, let's have a look. Singapore Airlines A350 to Singapore should be taking off from runway 24 any moment now. Quick look. Raven Rock has to go. Thank you for joining. See you in the next one, hopefully. There you go. Singapore A350 just took to the sky, outbound Singapore. Next departure from runway 24 should be a 7478 Cathay Pacific, now lining up. Meanwhile, regular Embraer 190 arriving from Luxembourg up next, KLM flight 1710. They're playing Euro Papa again. Wind is blowing in the right direction. I'm hearing everything that they're playing right now. Nicely done. Quite clearly audible. I hope you guys were also able to enjoy it. Right, in the meantime, the 7478 also took off. Our next airplane is going to be Air Transat A321, arriving from Montreal. Now it's 11:18, so still 20 or so minutes of arrivals on this runway, and then it's going to be back to the departures. Runway Roulette, similar to yesterday, courtesy of the wind blowing from the west and also the fact that the Aalsmeerbound runway, and now I have to say it properly, 36 right, 18 left, is closed for maintenance. Air Transat, flight 324 arriving from Montreal, A321neo, 6 hours and 36 minutes on the way to get here, brand new, first flight July 2023. Little tippy toey. Little bit of reverser action. Meanwhile, center is getting the Emirates triple. Boo. Lame. Wrong runway. We are going to get a little butt shot. That's the silver lining. Now, talking about A321neos crossing the ocean, here is JetBlue. And would you look at that? It is a looker. Have they copied the color of ITA? It almost looks like it. JetBlue, very pretty airplane. Arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. 6 hours and 24 minutes on the way. Brand new airplane. First flight, May 2024. Brand spanking new. Wow. This one might have written thumbnail over it. All over it. Copycat ITA. Wow. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. That looks so much better than the other livery. Internationally known. Right. Things are opening up here. This yellow orb supposedly is called the sun. Clouds are there, but they're more land inward and more to the north. Hey there, Guy, good morning. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. Our next airplane is an Embraer 190 arriving from Dublin. KLM flight 1136. 1 hour and 4 minutes underway. 14 years old, first flight October 2009. No wave from the first officer, sadly. Hey! Back again! Did you go to the Polderbaan?
Yes. It wasn't great. We didn't like it there.
No?
No.
I always go to the field that is next to the McDonald's. Not on the parking lot itself, but the field. If you go a little bit away from the parking place, but you follow the cycling path, you can also go to the cross section of the runway is now closed for maintenance. If it is open, it's the perfect spot.
By the way,
Yeah?
we speak Dutch.
Ah, oké.
We are from the Flemish side.
Oh, you are from the Flemish side. Waarom praten we dan niet Nederlands? Doe normaal. Oh. Jij bent toch... Ja, met een Vlaams accent, ik hoor het. Leuk.
I don't speak Netherlands yet.
Oh. Not yet. Work in progress. Ah. Oh my. Anyway, so the couple from Flanders just returned, went to the Buitenvelderbaan, Spottersplaats, near the McDonald's, now back to the Polderbaan. And she is Flemish, but he doesn't speak Dutch yet. Okay. Well, English is always an option. Anyway, let's see. It's Embraer 190s galore, both to this runway and to the central runway. Embraer 190s coming in. Hey, Flying AMS Live logo in the background. Do have wide bodies after all coming here. Let's see, this is German Airways flying for KLM, arriving from Aberdeen in the foreground, Embraer 190, the airplane in the background, obviously a 787, it's a 787-9, arriving from Toronto, KLM flight 696. Well, I'm thinking maybe the wind is slowing down a little bit. Looking on the scale of chimney smoke, there is verticality in the smoke, for lack of a bad description. Despite the predictions of more wind as the morning progresses. Let's see, after this Dreamliner, looks like we have a moment to spare. Embraer 190 arriving from Newcastle behind it, but still further away. Good moment to also have another look. Well, no, let's wait for 5 more minutes at least. The meter from 11:25 will be published in a couple of minutes. Jane says it's still 14 knots. Yeah. It's not wind still, that's for sure. Hey, that's nice. Pete says that the 777 PHBVD has been assigned for Polderbaan. Nice. Verticality, Ross, verticality. Right, let's see. In the meantime, 2 airplanes coming this way. There is a third one. Oh yeah, all 3 are visible, although very faintly. Zooming in a little bit usually helps. Let's do that. Wasn't fully zoomed in yet. Let's see, 3 airplanes on the glide slope, crabbing their way over here. First one being Embraer 190, KLM flight 954, arriving from Newcastle. 737-800, arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle. Up next, number 2, KLM flight 1406. And the third airplane is another Embraer 190, returning from Southampton, I should say. Now if you join us later, welcome to the show. You're watching MS Live. My name is Boy. We are standing alongside the Polderbaan, now being used for arrivals. There's 1-8 right. And in 10 or so minutes from now, this runway is expected to be used again for departures until 1 o'clock local time. Then between 1 and 2 o'clock, once again, arrivals will take place on this runway expectedly. Wind is blowing from the west, perpendicular to the runway heading. So there's crosswind, both for inbound and for outbound traffic using this runway. This runway has to be used today because runway 36 right, 18 left, the Aalsmeerbaan is closed for maintenance still. So we're still watching arrivals, although that might change again in 10 or so minutes from now. At some point I think we are going to see the influx dry up. Might already have happened. Last couple of airplanes and then back to the departures again. This is KLM flight 1406. Arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle, Air Baguette. Captain Baguette is doing a nice wheelie. Despite the windiness. Now, normally speaking, looking in this direction, you would see contrails on a regular basis. All outbound traffic from Frankfurt and Munich to the United States and Canada is usually coming from that area and flying overhead. Keep watching on a regular basis to see if I can spot a contrail coming my way, but so far no dice. I'm not sure if the humidity in the upper atmosphere is sufficient for us to see long contrails. It doesn't seem to be so. This is an Embraer 190 arriving from Southampton, KLM flight 1070, and an E2 Embraer arriving from Edinburgh is behind it. Still a few more airplanes inbound coming this way and to the threshold of center, so we're not going to see the closure of the runway for arrivals just yet. There's a third airplane now also coming to the Polderbaan. Ooh, I'm hearing the Macarena. Oh, nice. I thought of that before. Maybe bringing a radio or something along. Bit of musical background, but then again, if the music is too loud, might get copyright strikes. Maybe it's a good thing that the mic is pointing in the in the other direction, away from the sound source, the source of the Macarena. Right, E2 Embraer up next, KLM flight 924 arriving from Edinburgh. And also a big thank you to Alexander, who just now gifted 5 memberships. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Alexander. Alexander, thank you so much. Very kind, very generous. And a big welcome to the new members. You can now use custom emojis such as the wheelie emoji, Cafe Pacific, playtime, whatnot. Use them how you see fit. The E2 having arrived from Edinburgh. Next up, KLM flight 1944, German Airways, arriving from Basel. Embraer 190. Now, because the mic is pointing in a different direction, you're not picking it up, probably. There's an ambulance with sirens on. Two more airplanes coming this way. German Airways flight 1944 in the foreground. Let's see if we have a moment to quickly look at the wind and the weather. I think that the ticker... Yeah, so the meter has updated 10 minutes ago. Still wind perpendicular to the runway heading. More southwest variation than northwest variation, but still averaging around west, and 15 knots. 4 16 degrees C, few clouds at 2,700 feet, so all in all still similar conditions to yesterday. Yesterday we peaked around 19 knots of wind. We are approaching that. Now, copy the meter. Let me also see if I can find a moment to paste it in between filming. First up, KLM flight 1944, German Airways. Basel is where it's coming from. 1 hour and 3 minutes it has flown to get here. Let's see. Double triple time. 777-300 arriving from Vancouver and a 777-300 arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao behind it. KLM flight 682 in the foreground. Right, well, at least I managed to update the ticker. With respect to the meter, runway use will revert to what it was before. So no use chasing that. Right, the PHBVD up next in the SkyTeam livery, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. This is KLM flight 736, 8 hours and 37 minutes underway. The PHBVD, 14 years old, first flight August 2009. Not seeing any other airplanes coming to the Polderbaan right away. There are still a few that are assigned to the center runway. And Pete says last plane for landing here. Yeah, thought so. So we should start seeing departures again pretty soon. Until 1 o'clock approximately. And then from 1 to 2 o'clock, once again, this runway is going to be used for arrivals again. For now, the plan is to stick around until the landing bout between 1 and 2 o'clock has ended. Bit similar to yesterday. Yesterday they ended rather soon already, around a 1:45. Right, if you look in the water you will see that the waves are coming my way. If I had to venture a guess based on feel, the wind is now, I'd say, blowing from this direction more or less. Not exactly perpendicularly to the runway heading, but a little bit of headwind for the approaching airplanes and probably just a little bit of tailwind for the departing airplanes that will take off pretty soon. Now arrivals are still taking place on the center runway. To get to the Polderbaan as an outbound airplane, you have to taxi quite a long way, and a big chunk of that runway, or taxiway I should say, is one direction only, one lane. So if there's still airplanes that need to vacate that area, you have to wait. Is this a retro livery? It does look like it, doesn't it? Yeah, SAS in the retro livery, A319, arriving from Oslo, flight 821. Let's see how well we can film it. KLM, take notice. What was it again? Scandinavian aviation system or something? I keep hearing the Macarena right of me from the Mud Masters terrain. Hey, Macarena. And Clemencia says, boy, then it is possible for the A380 to land on Polderbaan. No, unfortunately not, Clemencia, because from 1 to 2 o'clock they are going to use the center runway as well, so parallel arrivals between 1 and 2 o'clock. So with 2 runways open, with center open, the A380 almost always is going to go to that sun runway. So I'm thinking it is going to land on the center runway. Wish it were otherwise, but to me that seems the most likely outcome. Now another JetBlue. Oh wait, no, this is ITA, the original ITA, the OG ITA. Scandinavian Airlines systems, right. Let me turn around the mic. Not sure if you guys can pick it up when I do that. Right, now even a Delta A330 is going to center. This is Austrian, arriving from Vienna. And let's see. Right, let's see. I'm also trying to see on flight radar if we can see outbound airplanes already on the move. Do see that Delta 243 to Boston has come alive on the platform. That is a likely candidate for the Polderbaan. Although right now I'm seeing a 787-10 to Toronto lining up on runway 24. Right, is this the last airplane to center then? Delta Airlines Flight 136, arriving from Detroit. Bird controllers are doing a runway inspection. And I also thought I saw the A350 Corendon, yeah, on its way over to runway 27 on the downwind leg. Probably the last of the inbound flights. And then, once again, Polderbaan expected to be used for outbound traffic together with runway 24. The runway inspection is already in progress, in preparation of that turnaround. And this is Delta Airlines Flight 136, the last airplane for now arriving on one of the 18 runways, either center or right. This A330 arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Now, somewhere in the distance, there is a BizJet from Panhellenic Airlines arriving from Paris. Cessna 560 XL Citation. Question is, can we see it from over here? The answer is yes, if you know where you need to look. It's a bit trying to find a needle in a haystack, but there it is. Panhellenic Airlines Cessna Citation. Seems to be landing on runway 27. Might also turn to the left and land on runway 24. I have seen that happen before, though I don't think it is going to happen. Oh, spoke too soon, as I often do. So it is going to land on runway 22 after all. Alrighty. Let's see. Now the waiting game will begin. Let's have a look. So, doing an update of current runway use. This is 11:50 local time. It does say now Polderbaan officially open again for outbound traffic. Runway 27 the only runway for inbound traffic. Runway 24 also being used for outbound traffic. And right now most of the outbound traffic is lining up right in front of the threshold of 24. Although Polderbaan now officially also open. For those of you unfamiliar with the layout of the airport, we are standing right here. And just now we had parallel arrivals. That is expected to resume again between 1 and 2 o'clock. Right now this configuration that you see is expected to be in progress until 1 o'clock local time. Wind is blowing perpendicularly to this runway we're heading. 15 knots, 4x4, few clouds at 2,700 feet. Wind finder says that the wind is expected to turn a little bit more to northwest later in the day, with a peak in wind speed and gusts expected around 2 o'clock. Yeah, and now waiting for the first airplanes to come this way. It should happen at some point in the future, although when exactly remains to be seen. Now, also a hey, see you later. Doeg. Hey, bye bye. Also, a good morning and a big thank you to Martin for your continued support. 7 months of membership. Martin writes, good morning all. Good morning to you too, Martin. Thank you so much for your continued support. In the meantime, also duckies over here in the water. Doing a parallel departure. And some formation flying. Or, well, just the two of us. 3 of us. Okay, interesting group dynamic. Not exactly sure what they're doing there. Still contrail-wise, disappointing day, even though we have beautiful blue sky. Again, this thing supposedly is called the sun. Friendly clouds all over. Lovely cloudy vistas. Though contrails, I did see a couple earlier, but right now bits of blue, bits of sky, bits of clouds. No contrails. Now we have that yellow-eyed duck over there with its mate. Mama duck and the ducklings also swam past to the north earlier, but where they are right now, I don't know. I haven't seen them. Where was it? There it is. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke. More horizontality in the chimney smoke right now, and I think there might also... Oh, there's the triplet of ducks again, doing formation flying here. With 2 passing by. Wah, wah. Yeah, they're practicing formation flying and parallel landing. Just like fighter pilots, they need to hone their skills on a regular basis. Make sure they do what they do best. Now, in the meantime, Turkish A350 lining up on runway 24, going to Istanbul. Should see that in a moment. Emirates to Dubai also behind it. And is there anything coming our way already? Does look like a 777 Lima has been pushed back. The Delta to Boston is coming. Now, Turkish, where are you? Turkish is taking its time. Meanwhile, more duck dynamics over here. Seems that the ducks are also getting a little bit territorial. No. Turkish A350 is still lined up. Absolutely nothing. Oh wait. About damn time. There we go, Turkish A350 to Istanbul. Emirates 777 to Dubai will be next, taking off from runway 24. In the meantime, are we going to see traffic soon? I think we are. Delta Airlines flight 243 to Boston is coming this way, and I'm cautiously hopeful that KLM B743 also is coming this way. Not sure yet. Would be nice though. Patience is a virtue with these turnarounds. Also a big thank you to JD for just now gifting 5 memberships. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say Dankeschön to JD. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. JD, once again, a big thank you. Don't know why, but thank you so much. Now, Orange Pride is also coming towards the Polderbaan, Pete says. That's nice. We are waiting for... Ah yeah, that's the one to Lima. Right. Perfect. In the meantime, Emirates flight 146 is still lined up on runway 24. Oh wait, now it is going. Little bit of movement. Ah! $19K subscribers, yeah. Are we still there? Or have we dropped below again? Let's see. Oh wow, we've actually cemented it a little bit more firmly. Nice. Well, thank you so much, JD. Not much that I can do about it. It is what it is. Sprint to the 20K will probably take half a year now. But that's cool. It's a vanity figure. Doesn't mean a thing. Number of subscribers. Nice to have, but not very important. Viewers and views are more important to me. Now, finally traffic coming this way. And also the Orange Pride is coming this way. That's KLM flight 743. This is Delta Airlines flight 243. 243, Delta 243, KLM 743. Wind on the scale of chimneys, on the scale of windsock looks like this. Ita in the background. Hey Paula, goeiedag. Doing well, thank you for asking. Hope that also goes for you. Delta to Boston, up next. And the KLM Orange Pride should be the next airplane to arrive. Heer van het goede leven, goedemorgen. Ja, ik heb hem thuis gelaten. Wel een beetje frisjes hoor. Ik heb ook mijn capuchon op, niet voor niks. Anders krijg je een beetje koude nek. Moet toch een keer zomer worden?
Zeker.
Maar ja, wanneer? Zeggen ze, over 3 weken wordt het alweer vroeger donker, hè? Lekker vrolijk. Daarom zeg ik het ook. Gaan we weer naar de kerst toe. Goeie dienst, mannen. Officer Rulof en de co-worker on patrol. Little chat with the lads. Delta is approaching the runway threshold and the Orange Pride, in the meantime, is coming this way. KLM Type 743 to Lima. So we saw the PHBVD land and we're going to see the PHBVA take off. Nice. In the meantime, Delta Airlines Flight 243 on its way to Boston, Massachusetts. The first part of the journey, a long taxi to the threshold of the Polderbaan, now in use for departures to the north as 36 left. Alrighty, this A330-300, 17 years old, first flight January 2007. Right, in the meantime it is getting a bit more cloudy over here. The PHBVA Orange Pride is taxiing to the runway threshold. In the distance, let's see, 1204. What is the METAR doing? The wind is now 16 knots from 270 degrees. Let me update the ticker with the there we go. Right, KLM Orange Pride, PHBVA, on its way to Lima in Peru. Hey, Minister, also back in the chat. Good afternoon. Just in time for the Orange Pride. Beautiful. Right, and as the Orange Pride is turning towards the North Sea to take off and continue further to Lima, we're going to see a couple of Dreamliners up next. They are making their way over here. TUI to Curaçao and United to Washington. Meantime, Gary Grebes is also swimming in the vicinity. Doing what Grebes do best, you mother ducker. Gary Grebes and Gertrude. Parallel diving. Awesome. Now you might also hear the clacking of hooves. Though the mic is pointing away from the cycling path. Hello. Horse and carriage. And the mother duckers. Well, at least one of them. Oh, wait, there's two. Continually diving under, re-emerging for a brief period of time and then diving under once more. Right, the pipeline is forming. First airplane being this TUI Dreamliner to Curaçao, flight 375. E2 Embraer to Dublin is coming this way. Embraer 190 to Oslo is coming this way. And what that United Dreamliner is doing, I don't know. We also saw that yesterday. Hey Judy, good evening. Good to see you again. Welcome to the show. Right, traffic flow to the runway is a bit slow. Hopefully it's going to pick up. Delta A350 to Atlanta, also active now on the platform. Should be a candidate for this runway. So until approximately 1 o'clock, this runway is once again being used for departures. And then between 1 and 2 o'clock, it is expected to be used for arrivals. Meanwhile, the TUI Dreamliner has arrived on this side of the platform and has now just turned left to the runway threshold. Banana DHL also on the move, Pete says. Well, the Banana is going to Leipzig, so I'm thinking it's going to take off from runway 24. Most of the outbound airplanes now going to or already at runway 24. These are the E2 and regular Embraer. United Dreamliner also seems to resume its way over here. Right, in the meantime, first departure after the Orange Pride. TUI Flight 3775 going to Willemstad, Curaçao, 7878 Dreamliner, the PHTFK, 10 years old, first flight May 2014. Alrighty, Embraer 190, no, E2 Embraer 195 up first. Thinking, yeah, the E2 is also taking the long route to the runway threshold. The other Embraer 190 behind it is doing the same. Now we should see the Dreamliner from United to Washington also appear pretty soon. JD has to hop off. But thank you for joining, JD. See you in the next one. E2 Embraer 195 up next. KLM Flight 1139 going to Dublin. Nice cloudy backdrop. Master Wolf also has to go. Thanks for joining, Wolfgang. See you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, mate. Take it easy, you're 42 now, eh? Don't be acting like a young fart when you're an old fart now. Alrighty. Let's see. United Airlines Flight 947 is making its way over here. The Dreamliner to Washington. Took its time. Yeah, just turn around the mic. Everyone's favorite song. You keep playing it repeatedly. Watch out for copyright strike. Indeed, Pete. Don't switch the mic, flip the mic too often. Yeah, but that's still 2 months away, Austrian. 2 lange Monate. And I'm still the younger one. Doing young fart stuff. Right, let's see. Delta Airlines Flight 57 to Salt Lake City. Also looks like it is on the move. And I'm also seeing that Finnair, the A350 to Helsinki, has come alive. Standard livery, but still. Finnair A350. Always lovely to see. Hey, that's good news, Pete. I did not know that it was here. The A330 in the Team USA livery from Delta, also on the move towards the Polderbaan. Sweet. Oh, that is the Delta to Salt Lake City. Yeah, did not press on the label, so I hadn't seen it was the Team USA. Alrighty. This is a United Airlines Flight 947 going to Washington, 7878 Dreamliner. 9 years old, first flight November 2014. Flexity flex. Kermit also back on the other side of the water. Although I haven't spotted him yet, he is audible. Now Zafri is asking, what was the first plane that you saw in your whole life? I don't know. When you're as old as me, you don't remember the first airplane that you once saw. Absolutely no idea what that was. Could have been everything. Ricardo is going again. See you in the next one, Ricardo. Enjoy the rest of your day. Now, let's see. We should see a few interesting airplanes coming this way. First up, an Embraer 175 will show itself pretty soon, and then a Chinese triple. Transavia apparently also flies to Riga with the 737-700 that also seems to be coming this way. Now I'm hoping that the sun is going to come out a bit more than it currently is, because it is starting to get a bit chilly here. Just standing with my hoodie on, even though my hoodie is nice and thick with the constant wind here. Actually a bit chilly. Oh, that Embraer 175 to Gdansk should... Oh yeah, there it is. I was about to say, should become visible any time now. Bird controller from right to left in the foreground, passing by K3. The Chinese triple is now crossing the center runway, should also become visible pretty soon over here. Hillard says in New Beierland it is nice and sunny. Are you trying to make me jealous? Well, the thing is, if I look to the west, it's also nice and sunny, so I'm thinking maybe in my hometown the sun is shining, which is closer to the coast. Although, yeah, looking around in general, definitely more clouds have formed. It's not a continuous deck of clouds, but definitely more shade than sun right now. The Chinese triple to Guangzhou should also show itself. I think we are already seeing the left wing. And it looks like the airplane behind it is the A330neo to Salt Lake City, the Team USA special livery. Judy is making us all jealous here in the Netherlands. 24 degrees today in Brisbane and sunny, not bad for winter. Yeah, you guys have better winters than we have summers. It's crazy. Meanwhile, the wind is definitely not slowing down here. Got the feeling that it has remained a little bit constant now. Let's have a quick look. So the new meter, well, the new meter should be out in a few moments. The old meter still says 16 knot wind blowing from the west, a few clouds 2,700 feet and 15 degrees C, roughly 60 F. Now, in the meantime, our first departure is ready to go. Embraer 175, KLM flight 1305, going to Gdansk in Poland. The Airplane is 6 years old, first flight January 2018. That was our little appetizer. Now we're going to see a few heavies. First up, the Chinese triple to Shanghai, which is over there. China Southern Cargo. USA, USA, USA. There we go. Team USA, A330neo. And a bunch of little ones. Right, this is China Southern Cargo, flight 2572, going to Guangzhou. It is a 777 freighter, a year old, first flight March 2023. Oh man, the duo was there. They parallel dove under as soon as they saw me. So back to the outbound action then. Adi Roy, goedemiddag. Hope you're doing well, good to see you again. This is Delta Airlines flight 57, Team USA livery, outbound to Salt Lake City, A330neo, 3 years old, first flight May 2021. USA, USA, USA. Alrighty. Donald and Daisy are chilling on their pedestal. In the meantime, Transavia going to Riga. Hopefully not to rig any elections. Riga. Rigatoni. Transavia 551-63, one of their 737-700s going to Riga. It's the PHXRX, which is already 21 and began flying for the first time in March 2003. KLM Flight 1167 up next, Embraer 190 going to Bergen. Let's see, Finnair is also on the move over here. Once again, I'm hearing the Macarena in the distance. Clemencia has to go. Thank you for joining, Clemencia. See you in the next one. Right, as I was saying, KLM Flight 1167 going to Bergen, Embraer 190, 10 years old. It's the Fizi, Fizi come, Fizi go. First flight October 2013. Cloudy backdrop. It's 12:34, so in 25 minutes from now we are going to see a runway change again, expectedly. Once again, arrivals to this runway and to the center runway. Meanwhile, this is an E2 Embraer to Edinburgh, KLM Flight 927. Wasn't this the same airplane that we also saw land arriving from Edinburgh? The PH NXS, brand new, will turn 1 in July. Right, now once again things look like they're opening up a little bit, looking to the west. Happy to see that. No time to waste. Similar like yesterday. They're keeping up the tempo. Another narrow body coming this way. This is KLM Flight 1233, Embraer 190 going to Game of Thrones in Denmark. The airplane is 14 years old, first flight February 2010. It says 747 Cargolux assigned for Buitenveldert. Yeah. Well, that's not something we can see a lot of from over here. Things are very pixelated. Oh, let's see. This is KLM flight 1177 going to Stavanger, Embraer 190. We also have a little Embraer in Cheaters Lane, which I think is going to precede the Finnair. Yeah, that's also on the move. Right, having entered the runway via Cheaters Lane is E2 Embraer 195 going to Birmingham, KLM flight 1045. In the background we have Finnair flight 1302 to Helsinki, bloody Helsinki. Super quiet, just insane. Right, let's turn around. I think it's time now for Finnair flight 1302, the beautiful A350-900 going to bloody Helsinki. Age and A. You never ask a lady her age, so Flight Radar doesn't give it. Undisclosed information. Pete says that plane also on its way to Polderbaan. That's nice. So the lifeliner on its way. Right, Finnair flight 1302 on its way to bloody Helsinki. Just look at the beautiful machine. Yo, what up, Alvin? The ultimate has returned to the chat with a totally unnecessary super chat. So sorry I haven't been around for a while. Hope everyone's doing great. Well, I definitely am doing perfectly fine. Thank you for asking. Hope that also goes to you, Alvin. I totally forgot to say thank you for your super stickers last time you were in the stream. I think you super stickered them right before I shut down the stream and I totally forgot to say thank you. So thank you once more. No, not once more. A belated thank you, I should say. For totally unnecessary, totally unnecessary gifted gifts, I should say. Now, this is TUI flight 387 to Aruba. And the Suparna 747 also is supposedly coming this way. That is nice. Now, let's see what else is in the pipeline. Embraer 190 to Eel, Aalborg. Aal means eel in Dutch. Eelborg. Play. We saw it land. We're going to see it take off again. It's coming this way and it should show itself anytime now. Oliver loves planes, loves Planet Zoo, asks an interesting question. Why does Finnair fly an A350 from Helsinki to Amsterdam? Yeah, apparently a lot of demand. They do fly regularly with the A350. It's not a one-off. It does allow us to see all those beautiful liveries. Mooming, not so special, but still nice. Mighty Mecco Kivot. Kivot. No, it's a Kivek is a couch from IKEA, right? So it's Kivot with a T. Oh yeah, 747 overhead for 27. Seeing it and hearing it. The beautiful Cargolux. Is that Cargolux Italia or regular Cargolux? Lovely. Meanwhile, Embraer 190 to Aalborg. Almost ready to go. German Airways flying for KLM as flight 1285. It's the Darcy. The Darcy is 17. First flight January 2007. Right, it's 1:45. 15 minutes of departure still from this runway, and then it is an hour of arrivals once more. Big picture wise, luckily the sun out again, warming up things here. Wind's blowing from over here, I'd say. This is what the sky over here looks like now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, second time in this stream to grab your emoji. It is that time again. Time to play. And I'm also seeing on flight radar that the Suparna 747 should become visible anytime now. Right. Hey Rodney, good morning. Stopping in to watch before my son and I head out for some fishing. Always nice. Now this is play flight 461 returning to Reykjavik. We saw it land before. Now we see its departure back to Reykjavik, the A320 Neo. There she is, Suparna, the queen. On its way to Nanjing. First part of the journey, a long taxi to the threshold of runway 36 left. On the right we can see that the wind is still blowing, Viagra is still in the air here. Michael just sent me a picture of him, the missus, and your now 20-year-old son in a cockpit of a CRJ 700. Awesome. We'll have a look later today when I'm back home. Now, there are also queens arriving on runway 27. Trying to have a look. Where are they? Yeah, it does look like back-to-back 747s. Nice. Right. So from 1 o'clock until 2 o'clock. This runway will once again be used for arrivals. Wind is still blowing perpendicularly to the runway heading, so every bit of wind is crosswind. Should make for some nice crabbing action. Also looking to my left to see if I can see the queens that are approaching. I think it's going to coincide with the departure of this queen. No, maybe not. This is Suparna Airlines flight 87414 outbound to Nanjing in China. This 747-400 freighter is 16 years old, first flight July 2007. Let's look and listen. Right. Mercer is informing us that the Vueling from Alicante is the first plane to arrive on Polderbaan in a short period of time. As one queen has departed, I think we should see two queens pretty soon land on the wrong runway. Thinking here's the first one, first of two. So we have Cargolux arriving from Miami and Cargolux arriving from Nairobi. Nicely back to back. You'd think you'd be able to see the second 747 already, but apparently not. Let's try that again. Huh. Okay. No matter. Right. Cargolux after Cargolux coming in, two 747-400s, the first one from Miami, now flying over Amstelveen, number 2 on flight radar. Hey, A380 confirmed to Polderbaan, Marissa says. That's interesting. Now the Cargolux is number 1. That is insane. Eight hours on the way. 8 hours and 16 minutes. 16 years old, this one. And there's the second one arriving from Nairobi. Flight 2616, almost exactly the same flight time. The other one was 8 hours and 16 minutes, this one is 8 hours and 24 minutes. And in the meantime, the first airplane to Polderbaan, the Vueling arriving from Alicante. Flying off the coast, still a little bit to the north, but I'm expecting it to turn in. Why on earth has the A380 been assigned to the Polderbaan with runway 27 also open? Boggles the mind. I'm not saying I'm disappointed with it or unhappy, but surprised I am. Now, let's see. Vueling A320 arriving from Alicante. It is flying on the base leg. I'm thinking we already saw the Transavia earlier today. Then again, the sky, the backdrop was a bit more blue then. Easier to discern the airplanes. Probably already, yeah, it's turning in, so should be a bit closer by to the glide slope already. Oh yeah, there it is. Right, 2 consecutive airplanes arriving from Alicante. Vueling up first, Transavia up next. There we go. Vueling flight 1377, the first next airplane to arrive. A320 arriving from Alicante. 9 years old, first flight May 2015. And after that we are going to see the Transavia 737 also arriving from Alicante. We have an Embraer 190 arriving from Toulouse. Why did it go around? Has anybody been listening to the ATC? Right. First aborted landing of the day. Which means indeed, Han, that you can enjoy this airplane twice. Well, first abortion. Let's have a quick look. What's the wind doing? Let's do a refresh. Latest METAR says 18 knots of crosswind, more or less perpendicular to the runway, heading still. Scattered clouds at 2,900 feet. Temperature still the same. Well, we're rising to the same peak in wind speed as yesterday. So let's update the ticker. It is nice and crosswindy. Let's see the departures now. Runway 24, arrivals 27, and this is now 18 right. Right? Yeah. Right, the crabbing action is resuming again until approximately 2 o'clock today. "18 knots of crosswind. And these are the troopers. All the sissy boys landing on runway 27 with direct headwind. They have it easy. These are the real adventurers. Kudos for all the pilots opting to land over here. Transavia flight 6144, 737-800, arriving from Alicante. Touching down after 2 hours and 19 minutes. Nice and smoky. Welcome back, chaps. Polderbaan should be renamed Winner's Lane. Everybody who lands here is a winner. Hey, Wolfgang back. Got the election done. Right. Now. Embraer 190 arriving from Toulouse. We'll be landing on Winner's Lane. Just turning in is Transavia arriving from Faro in Portugal. 737-800, flight 5356. The A380 is still coming this way. Not a mistake or anything. Actually going to land here. Freaking awesome if it will. Indeed, nothing to lose. Nice one. High five. No high five. Okay. Wolfgang asks about what is up there in Apeldoorn. Lots of gliders around there. Well, gliding is something that you see often when it's decent weather. I'm not sure about the wind in the vicinity of Apeldoorn, but landinward there are a couple of glider clubs. So might be just a regular day of the glider club. You also see them a lot around Soesterberg in the vicinity of Utrecht. Interestingly, the Amsterdam glider club is located in Soesterberg. Well, I think Hilversum. No, it's Soesterberg. And then there's also a glider club in Hilversum, if I'm not mistaken. Transavia arriving from Faro. Returning from Portugal. No issues. Right, Britty Hopper up next. Embraer 170. Flying for KLM, SKLM flight 1088, arriving from Cardiff. Flight time 54 minutes, 305 nautical miles. The Embraer 170 long range is 20 years old. First flight March 2004. And the second attempt of the Vueling arriving from Alicante, which is now number 2. Vueling A320 Neo arriving from Valencia, turning in the background, number 3. 2 consecutive Vuelings. Must be your lucky day, Han. British Hopper landed, no issues. Hello chaps. Well, probably, Wolfgang, probably. You can see the airplane is illuminated by the sun, so the sun is shining here and there. Not sure if it's good for thermal flying, but I'm absolutely no sailplane pilot or anything. You're right, Frank. The Zilk is a nice one. Although it has a limitation of, they're capped at 2,000 feet, they're not allowed to go any higher, so their flights almost always are very short. I've been playing with the idea of maybe going there on a Sunday or Saturday with the camera, maybe do some filming from over there. Although it is probably going to be very slow TV. They are using, and I'm not sure what the English word for it is, a leer to get the airplane stowed into the air, so they don't use an airplane. That is nice to see. Vueling A320 Neo arriving from Alicante. Obviously the previous Vueling landed properly in second instance. KLM 737-800 arriving from Glasgow. Now number 2 in the background. Winch, that's the word. Right, third airplane in the distance, coming this way. Doesn't look like an A380 just yet. Vueling in the Asturias Paraíso special livery, which I think was just a sticker, if I recall correctly. Arriving from Valencia. No issues. Beautiful, beautiful dot. Still in place. The world order still intact. Next up is KLM flight 938 arriving from Glasgow, 737-800, 1 hour and 6 minutes underway. The airplane is 16 years old, first flight May 2008. The airplane behind it is an Embraer 190 arriving from Düsseldorf, KLM flight 1800. The A380 now 5th for arrival, Marissa says. Thanks for the update. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? The A380. Whoa, smoky. Easy. Think about the tires. Think about that. If an average landing of the A380 already deposits 6 kilograms of rubber on the tarmac, how much rubber are we going to see deposited on the tarmac in a few moments when the A380 will actually land on Polderbaan? Now Wolfgang, really you shouldn't have. Thank you so much. 5 new gifted memberships courtesy of you. Probably thanks to you all for crossing the 500 likes mark during the stream. Thank you all so much for that. And Wolfgang in particular, thank you so much. If you are one of the recipients of the gifted memberships of Wolfgang, don't forget to say Dankeschön, Herr Wolf. Or Danke Wolfgang, or thank you Wolfgang. And be sure to use the custom emojis that are now at your disposal whenever you see fit. Now, this next airplane is arriving from JD's hometown of Düsseldorf. He's no longer in the chat, so who knows, he might have been taking this flight. Probably not. Flight 1800 and an A320 Neo behind it, arriving from Palma de Mallorca. Nicely done, nicely done. Now, if we are going to be lucky, the A380 might do a go around. Let's hope for that. Unless, of course, you guys mind seeing it twice. Then, of course, let's hope that the landing goes effortlessly in one go. Next up is an A320 Neo arriving from Palma de Mallorca. as I was quickly taking a sip of water. Now, this EasyJet A320neo has been flying for 2 hours and 17 minutes. Brand new, first flight April this year. No issues. Well, thank you for your kind words, Wolfgang. Really, you shouldn't have. You're doing more than enough as a moderator as it is to support the channel. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Beast of the East. Actually landing on the Polderbaan with nearly 20 knots of crosswind. Oh goody. Already looking forward to it. One little airplane is preceding it. Arriving from Geneva, KLM flight 1932, 737-800. Hello. Alright, nice touchdown. Yada yada. Now folks, if you've been enjoying the stream so far and you haven't already, drop a like, be sure to subscribe for more. This is the A380 with nearly 20 knots of crosswind, landing on the mother-fudging Polderbaan. Winner's Lane, as it's called today. Everybody landing here is a winner in my book. Now, number 7 on flight radar, we can do better than that, can't we? Arriving from Dubai, flight 147 in the standard livery, still the current standard livery. AMS Live members already have access to the latest iteration with the ribbon tail, as you guys can see. 6 hours and 37 minutes underway, so that is par for the course. Normally speaking, the airplane would average around 6.5 hours at this point in the sky. The airplane is 11 years old, the A6 EEF, which is a name in the Netherlands, Eefje, girl's name. Also a man's name, accidentally. Incidentally, not accidentally, incidentally. First flight of this airplane was in November 2012. Come on, do a go around, we want to see it twice. That was awesome. Roy needs to sign off. Well, now's the best time to do that. You saw the landing of the Beast of the East. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, Roy. See you in the next one. Now, me, I'm going to stick around until the reversal will initiate. We'll await the current bout of arrivals, and we have another beauty up next. KLM flight 622 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, 777-300 7.5 hours underway to get here. The PHBVB, 16 years old, first flight March 2008. Alrighty. A big thank you to Optimus Toaster for your continued support, celebrating 3 months of membership today, and Optimus writes, please send biscuits, Yorkshire Biker ate them all. Oh, greedy bastard. Yeah, well, we'll do a crowdfunding, make sure that you get enough biscuits sent your way. Thank you so much for your continued support, Optimus. Hope you still like it in the lounge. If something isn't to your liking, like when there's a shortage of biscuits, do let me know. And also, Pete, thank you so much for your super chat, mate. Very much appreciated. 380 for the A380. Now, quickly back to the camera controls. Our next airplane coming in is a narrow body from Air France. Arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle. Triple airplane combo shot. Air France, KLM, Emirates. Also a massive big thank you to Judy for your continued support, 9 months of membership, and Judy writes, love the channel, hope to get back to Amsterdam. Well, do let me know when you do. Thank you so much for your continued support, Judy. Hope the lounge is still to your liking. Now let's see, this is number 175 arriving from Nantes, KLM flight 1420. Right, 2 more airplanes coming this way. Embraer 190 arriving from Inverness, and an E2 Embraer arriving from Zurich behind it. Mario says, my bed is calling, will be Monday here in 30 minutes. In that case, sleep tight. See you in the next one, Maria. Now it's 1:26 over here, so we're expecting this runway to be used for arrivals until until 2 o'clock still. Probably mostly narrow bodies, but that's okay. They're particularly susceptible to crosswind. Who knows, we might get to see another go around. Although granted, the one that happened wasn't very spectacular. It aborted quite early. Meanwhile, the sun has found a little gap in between the now more omnipresent clouds. go in the direction the wind is blowing from. Well, yeah, still looks decent. I think the coastal regions are probably seeing the most sunshine right now. Even though, as the crow flies, we're about 10 miles or 15 kilometers from the sea, the coast. This is KLM flight 1920 arriving from Zurich. E2 Embraer 195. 1 hour and 11 minutes on the way. Oh? Using the reversers. What the fudge? Right, 3 airplanes on the glide slope. Embraer 190 arriving from Turin, up first. 737-800 arriving from Lyon, up next. Third airplane is Ryanair arriving from Dublin. Right. Last plane to Polderbaan, now second for arrival. Okay. Probably too much crosswind then. Does that mean they're going to go outbound again from Polderbaan pretty soon? Probably. So the 2 airplanes visible now in the distance are the last 2 to Polderbaan. So that means that they are going to switch it up again for departures after these 2 airplanes have landed. Are there already airplanes on the move over here? Or are we first going to see another tedious runway inspection and... Oh, nice. Right, Ryanair arriving from Dublin, flight 3006. 737-800 arriving from Dublin, 1 hour 4 minutes underway. 14 years old, and the first flight was in July 2009. Well, nicely done. Now, last airplane of the day, I think it's going to be this one. China Airlines cargo. Just took off. Yesterday we were unlucky. It made a left-hand turn and went to the east over the south. Often when they fly to China, they make a right-hand turn, pass overhead to the north. Let's see what is happening today. I think we have our answer. It is turning to the left, turning to the east via the south. So yeah, that is going to be the last airplane of the day then. Not sure if I am able to go out tomorrow. The weather was supposed to be shit. And I'm not sure when the shit is beginning. If it is in the morning already or if it's coming in the afternoon. Right, I'm going to wrap it up, folks. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. I had a wonderful time and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I have. If you haven't already, drop a like. Be sure to subscribe if you want to learn more of upcoming live streams. Hopefully the next live stream will be tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then hopefully later in the week. At some point the weather should be getting better. Yeah, that's what we've been saying to ourselves for a long time now. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Thank you for all your support, all the likes, the super chats, the super stickers, the memberships, the gifted memberships. Moderators, a big thank you for keeping the chat friendly and accessible. Also a big thank you for the 19k subscribers on to the 20. Hope to see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't get blown away. Be safe. See you soon. Bye bye.